Ooh, hello there, good people. I have been checking the primary results for the state of Ohio. We had a primary today. And so I was checking the results. I think someone we spoke to for a town hall might win his race. I don't want to jinx it. But he's in the lead. He's in the lead. Daquan Neal, if you can hear me, you're in the lead. I hope it stays that way. Well, let's see. I'm very greasy tonight, and I'm not wearing any makeup, so it's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock, and I'm not putting on makeup at 9 o'clock. I ain't doing it. Like the man said, the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some. Different strokes. Different strokes. Hello, 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 hello. This light is in my eyes. You know what? If I end up with good vision after all of this, I will be very surprised because this light is in my eyes. Oh, my skin is greasy, y'all. Forgive me. My baby's always dancing. And no, that ain't a bad thing. But I don't get no loving. And that's no lie. We spend every kind of disco. And since that night, I kissed my love goodbye. Don't blame it on sunshine. Don't blame it on moonlight. Don't blame it on the good times. Blame it on the boogie. Mr. Lloyd, you're here. Allow me to invite you up, Mr. Lloyd.
He's on the thing.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Sorry, I was trying to get logged in. We were running a little bit behind for Cinco de Mayo, so I'm going to be in the car just for a second, but I'm not driving.
Okay, well, I'm just going to be sitting here singing, waiting for you. I'm going to get the room warmed up for you.
Okay.
Don't blame it on sunshine. Don't blame it on moonlight. Don't blame it on good time. Blame it on the boogie. I just can't control myself. Y'all have no idea what I be listening to when I'm outside mowing my lawn, when I'm doing yard work. I'm listening to the smooth sounds of Lil Mikey and the Jackson 5 and Luther Vandross and Earth, Wind, and Fire. I love to listen to R&B when I'm doing yard work. Isley Brothers. Listen, I be Atlantis, it's back to you. My neighbor, he'll be waving at me saying hello, and I'm just smooth grooving all over the yard. I'll always come back to you. And he'll be like, Ayana, Ayana. I tell people, when I am outside and my headphones are on, I'm in another world, a completely different world where no one exists except me and my power tools. I'll always come back to you. Mr. Lloyd, when you're ready, I've invited you to turn on your microphone.
Here.
I'll always come back to you. This is Our Vote Counts. If you are in here for a town hall, then you came to the right place. Mr. Lloyd, I'm going to put you back on mute. So when you're ready, just type it in the chat and I'll take you off mute. Mr. Lloyd was somewhere eating tacos for Taco Tuesday and Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo falling on Taco Tuesday, that has to be from God. Well, literally, but that's double the tacos, double the burritos, double the rancheritos, double the casadas. Is casada? Quesadillas. Quesadillas. My daughter loves a burrito taco, honestly. Burrito taco. Ba, 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 ba. I want you all to know that I'm very happy to be here. We took a break for a week and I really missed you guys. I really missed talking to political candidates for an hour and a half. Yes, really missed it. Really. Right. I like how this looks like I have no head on this half, but all of a head over here. I assure you that I have a very large head. So if you're thinking I have a small head because of the way it looks on the screen, no, you'll be very surprised when you meet me in person. Mr. Lloyd, when you're ready, type it in the chat and I will unmute your microphone. If you're here for an Our Vote Counts town hall, you have come to the right place. This is Our Vote Counts. This is our second town hall of the night with our second Missouri candidate. Earlier we had, if I can remember his name, I'm so sorry. Forgive me. But you know who you are. You were just here. And we had a discussion with Moderator Sianka. She's the one who did the research for this discussion tonight. I appreciate her so much. Her questions are always very well, what's the word? Well written, well thought out. Also, we have town halls tomorrow, I believe. The races are starting to thin out, right? As we're moving into the primary season, this is the second month of primaries. We skipped April because people had a lot going on, apparently. This is the second month of primaries. There are a lot this month. Louisiana's so far is still canceled. He's ready, but we have a lot coming up on the 12th and the 19th. So you guys, if you're in those states,
Mom has a lot to say, so watch out.
Mr. Lloyd, can you turn on your camera?
Can you see
There
me?
you are. Yes. You know what, Mr. Lloyd? I want to ask you something.
Yes.
When I went to your website,
Uh-huh.
there were no photos of you on your website. Who are you hiding from, and why is it the Power Rangers?
So this is a grassroots movement.
Right.
And so I'm doing a lot of things myself. So I've been trying to be very active on social media. So that is one of the things I'm working on, is trying to add photos to my gallery on my website.
Okay. I was like, he must be new here.
It's almost
cool.
a one-man show.
It's cool. I found them. You have like a photos page, but you know, when you go to a candidate's website, you expect like a big splash.
Yes.
Hello, it's me. It's Dustin. But yes, I found you. I saw you.
It's the true definition of a grassroots movement. Working with little to nothing and building on it. And so every little bit counts. And so I've just been trying to chuck away at it little by little.
Well, you got to put your face on there. You got to let the people see. You have a very nice face. Okay, if you don't mind my saying so.
Thank
you have a
you.
very nice face. You got the peak there, the peak, that haircut, very nice hair. You got to put your face out there, right?
I think my mother is in the background appreciating that you said that. She's visiting from Colorado and just got in yesterday. And she wanted me to let you know because I was in the car and I took her out for Mother's Day and different things for Cinco de Mayo. And when you were talking about double the tacos and double the burritos, she wanted me to let everyone know live that it also means double the toilet paper.
Oh, listen. Only if they do it right.
Right.
Only if they do it right. You'll know in about 24 hours.
Or less.
Or less. Yes. But okay, are you going to be moving around, or are you able to like sit down?
Yes, I can sit down. Yes.
Okay. You're going to make the people dizzy, Mr.
Yes,
Lloyd.
let me get in here.
Tell your mom OVC says hello.
Mother, OVC says hello.
Well, you howdy to you.
She's from Texas, so she says howdy.
Oh, that's right, you are.
Well,
you are from Texas.
I should say we're from Texas. Yes, let me get my Ring camera because I apologize for running late.
That's okay.
I felt bad because the staff was very underwhelmed today, and things were moving a little bit slower, but graciously we were patient. So
good. We all need to show each other a little bit more grace.
Kindness matters.
You're right. But tonight we're turning up the heat.
Yes, we are.
It's cold outside. Time to get warm. Our vote counts. Hello. Mr. Lloyd, have you shared this with your followers? Do people know you're here? Do they know you're running for office and that you were having a town hall?
They do know. I did share it earlier. With me, as you may see, I am a millennial and I still work full time. So working full time, I did share it earlier this morning. So hopefully they've seen it because I wanted to make sure that people know we were here.
I love that American flag background. It really legitimizes this entire thing. It really seals it. I love it. Our Vote Counts is a nonpartisan coalition of citizens from diverse states and backgrounds, united by a shared commitment to empowering voters and promoting candidates who stand for integrity, inclusion, and accountability in the upcoming elections. Our Vote Counts is more than a name. It's a promise, a movement, and a rallying cry for democracy. Together, we are shaping the future, one informed vote at a time. And tonight, we are featuring the stylings of Mr. Dustin Lloyd, who is running for Missouri State House of Representative out of District 39. Wow. Dustin Lloyd, as he just mentioned, is originally a Texan.
I am.
And now he is a Missourian. Missourian. He's very smart. It says here that you're very smart. And that you were and that you were in the United States Army. Awesome. Thank you for your service and your sacrifice. We appreciate it. We really do. Now you're a husband, father, person who works. You sell houses? What are we doing? You sell houses or you do commercial real estate?
So I was a realtor. So if you're someone who knows me, I've been, I guess, considered the jack of all trades. I've been a realtor, an ordained. I am an ordained minister, a notary public, and a financial advisor. So I always tell people I'm their one-stop shop. I always joke around because for a little bit I worked I still work for Ford and at a dealership, but I worked at a local oil change facility similar to like a Valvoline. And I always told them, I said, you don't need to go to Vegas to get married. You just come here, get your oil change. I can marry you while you're in the car and I can save you a trip.
Wow, that is something. That's a lot of things. Like, when do you have time for you? What do you do to unwind, Mr. Lloyd?
I love music. I like tennis. I haven't got to play it in a while. But mostly my time to unwind, besides kind of laying back, going on drives, listening to music of all genres. I just like spending quality time with my daughter, who I like to say is 10 going on 20.
Yes.
And so for me, a work-home life balance has always been a big thing. And I know running as a candidate, it's a lot of work. But I strive to make sure that I make time for her and I spend time with her. So that's kind of like my happy place.
Okay, we have questions in the chat. And chat, listen, I'm going to get to all of your questions. I promise. This is the intro material. We got to warm it up. We got to let the people know about the background. We got to get to the background. Then we do the questions. I'm going to ask your questions. Don't worry. In fact, I was about to ask you to tell us more about yourself, which you just did, but also why you decided to run for office.
So, probably since around 2016 or so, I've been interested in politics for a long time. I was in the service and I've been out for over a decade. And I've always thought about how I could give back and make an impact in my community or in a broad scale. I've always tried to do philanthropy work, donations, philanthropy, volunteering at soup kitchens, help where I could, but I never felt like it was enough. Mm-hmm. And then in 2016, different things in the administration, things started happening. It didn't necessarily impact me at first. I seen it mostly in the veteran community and my brothers and sisters who served. When this whole 3-letter word that we don't talk about happened.
Yeah.
And so I seen where there were staff at the VA who, in my case, and being a realtor and things at the time, where they would sell their house, be on the way to go to a different state, to go to a different VA facility, and they were told, hey, you don't have a job anymore. And then seeing that impact my veteran brothers and sisters and them not getting the care they needed. I am a disabled veteran and I do get VA care. And so about every 3 or 4 months, I check in and do a telehealth with my doctor. The last few years, I have had multiple doctors. And then the last 2 visits that I've had, I had a doctor from Kansas and it was telehealth. So not even one at my local VA clinic. So again, more in the care for my other brothers and sisters than myself at first, but I also seen things happen in my community when things happened in policy where it affected SNAP benefits. Right. I have a family, in Missouri, but also a family in Texas and Colorado who depend on programs like that where it impacted my family and also friends and family and people in the community. And I felt that if I sat by and did nothing, that I was complacent and I was just as bad as the issue that was happening. And so I felt like I couldn't be quiet and silent anymore. There are a lot of people in our country who are scared. They're afraid to voice their opinion in case of retaliation. Or there are people who are out there who have voiced their concerns and they feel unheard or talked over. And so I felt like when it came to it, I wanted to be a voice for the people. You hear people, are you left? Are you right? Are you blue? Are you red? But at the end of the day, the thing for me is I'm a candidate for the people. What is in the best interest of the majority of the people in my constituents in my district? What is best for them? What do they want? And actually be a voice in Jefferson City that they have that can be there for them and not the other way around.
Okay. And so you're running on the Democratic ticket, right?
I am.
Okay. Are you a Democrat or are you an independent?
I'm a Democrat.
You're a Democrat. Okay.
I feel like over the years, and most people, depending on the way you look at it, would say like a centrist. Like I believe there's good and bad on both sides as well as people. They both have good concepts, but in today's society, because I don't think that today's parties are the same ones that they used to be.
Right.
But my ideals, my morals, and my values align more with the Democratic ticket when it comes to civil rights, human rights, women's rights. And so that's how I've typically voted over the years.
Okay. Listen, TikTok and these noises. I love that you all are gifting us. Thank you so much. Remember to gift the candidate as well. Support the candidate. He is a grassroots candidate, so every little bit helps. And so we're going to get started on the questions. My first question is just kind of a silly question, Dustin. Right? You said you're into music.
Yes.
If your campaign had a theme song, what would it be and why?
I feel like Kamala Harris already stole mine.
Oh.
Theme song. Oh, man.
You're a Beyonce stan?
Yeah. I mean, anything patriotic, like God Bless America. Like, I don't know. Like, anything that deals with freedom, patriotism, community. Like, I mean, I think Vice President Harris said it best, like joy, like something that's upbeat and happy and brings people together versus all the division that's out there.
What about James Brown's Living in America?
I like that one.
Yeah?
I do.
Okay. There you go. That's yours.
Okay, so when we make it big, because, when I get elected, positive affirmations. I'm gonna
Right.
do that.
That's right. Your incumbent, I forgot to mention, is, I don't know how to pronounce this last name, Mark Marath?
Marath,
Maratha?
Marath.
Marath. Okay. Marath. He's the incumbent. He's a Republican. Is your district more red or blue or?
So, if you look at it from the base of voting, you would say that it's Republican. It's more red, Missouri, rural, when you think of it, long-standing. But really, it used to be blue, and Missouri used to be purple. But in my district, we haven't had a Democrat run in over a decade. So I can't really say that it's Republican or it's red because people have not had a choice.
Right.
Our basic Democratic scores is relatively high for my district without there being someone on the ticket. Mm-hmm. And I'm seeing districts in my state that are flipping 20, 30 plus points this cycle. Mine, I think I need to flip over 13. So I know that if districts are flipping 30 points, that it's definitely doable. But just the fact that the Democratic score is somewhat higher as it is, but just having someone on the ticket and giving them an option, I think could be greatly beneficial.
That would be wonderful, actually. People need to have choices, especially in the primary. That's what the primary is about. Choices.
So typically, so it is the first time that a Democrat has run. I do have a primary, which is in August. So another Democrat and myself essentially had the same idea that we thought enough was enough. And we decided to run at the same time. So we do have that primary in August and then, of course, the general election in November.
Okay. So your district has Clay County, Ray County, a population of about 39,652 people. It's mostly Caucasian. Your median household income is about $103,000. The minimum wage is $15. Is that right?
I don't think the state itself has gone up to a minimum of 15. It did? Okay. Yeah, so I have not seen that, but I know they were working on it. So yes, I do believe it is 15 now.
Wow. That's nice.
In January.
I mean, it's still not a livable wage, but that's better than a lot of states, actually.
Better than like 7 and some change is what it was before.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot better. Let's see here. One of your big platform issues is healthcare for seniors. So we're just going to jump right into that. Someone wants to know if you were going door to door. How are you getting your name out in your district?
So in my district, I haven't gone door to door yet. It is one of the biggest things that I do want to work on. When it gets to election cycle, nobody wants to answer a phone call from someone they don't know.
Well, you're right about that.
If you're like most of my family, you have to call more than once before they answer if they don't recognize it. But
that's true, yeah.
I just feel like person to person and face to face does more. And I'm the type of candidate where when I haven't done it yet, and I'm going to hopefully start soon, is when I go to the door and do door to door is introducing myself, of course. But what I really want to know is like what has affected the person, what do they want changed, and things that affected them or someone they know, not so much about, of course, I'm going to introduce myself, but I want to make it more about them and what they need and want versus it being about me.
Right.
But one of my biggest things right now is because it is a grassroots campaign, I'm trying to get the funding so I can go through the union to do the literature so I have it to when I go door knock. So that's why I haven't done it yet, because I want to get that information ready and have it with me for those conversations.
So what do you mean by go through the union? What is that?
So like when it go for printing and different things, they have
Okay.
like a union shop.
Oh, okay. All right, look at you for the people. I like that. I'm in a union. I appreciate that. I really do.
Unions are the reason why we have our 40-hour work weeks and our 5-day work weeks. So
thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. It's the reason why people get to work from home too.
Absolutely.
So, okay, healthcare. The Missouri Hospital Association reports over 100 Missouri counties face primary care shortages. You say seniors deserve access to care, and they are in rural areas like Ray County, often traveling long distances for care. If seniors have coverage but can't find providers, will you work to increase reimbursement rates? If so, how are you going to pay for it?
So, yes, I feel like we should reimburse them for the difficulties that they face. One of my biggest things is trying to solve problems so that way it's easier for people in rural areas to get the access and healthcare that they need. With me, I would definitely say I don't have all the answers yet. I am a first-time candidate.
That's
and
cool.
I don't want to tell people that I have the answers or say something that is not true. So there's a lot of things that I will have to do a lot of research on. But there are people in the House and the Senate that I do know that I have relationships with, and people in different areas with their backgrounds and profession that I want to be able to work with and ask questions on and work across the aisle to figure out the best solution for that scenario. I don't know off the top of my head how we're going to make it happen. But once I get elected, it is one of the things that I want to spend most of my time on.
It's a priority.
It's a very huge priority for me for multiple reasons once we get into it.
Good. Okay. Let's see. You say no senior should have to choose between prescriptions and food, yet many seniors on fixed incomes are doing just that while prescription drug prices rise. What do you think is a good dollar amount you plan to save seniors annually, and how can you guarantee that?
So I don't know a specific dollar amount right now. I want to work with people who are in the pharmaceutical industry, but also outside of it. I want to do something I feel like the Biden administration did when it came to prescription drugs. There was, how do I put it? The reaction to that and how it affected people, and from what I've heard of people when it came to their prescription drugs cost, it made a huge difference. With the reversal in this current administration, or people who want to put their name on different things and turn it into other things, I don't know exactly how that would work. But what I do is I want to get with people who are in the industry and people who are knowledgeable, even like I said, outside the industry, and come up with a way to make it more affordable, easier to pay for. Something similar or closer to what I'm hoping we would get to is like a universal healthcare or a single pay system where it's more feasible and easier for people to get the medications that they need.
Which would be fantastic, because as far as the wealthiest nations on earth, the United States has the most expensive health care, health insurance, and the most unhealthiest people. So we're paying more for all of these things, medication, procedures, doctor visits, and we're still the unhealthiest nation among the wealthiest nations on earth. It doesn't make sense.
It does not.
It doesn't. So any help, even if it's at the state level, like sometimes a state will do something great with healthcare or with a social program, and other states will adopt it, or the federal government will adopt it. So maybe, you get to the state government, you come up with something good. The government looks at you and goes, you know what, Lloyd? Representative Lloyd, that's fantastic. We're going to adopt the Lloyd plan.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
That's my supportive mother in the background.
Doing what a mom should. I love it. Okay.
It's very important because I can't even get my medicine because it's too
Expensive.
expensive.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing it.
And dadgum deductibles suck.
I love her. Never met her, and I love her. So one of the changes that was made to the SNAP program under the big barrel is that caregiving is not considered employment. So if you want to continue to qualify for SNAP benefits, you have to get another job.
Mm.
And there are a lot of people who are working as caregivers for their elderly parents, their disabled adult children. You say that you'll support caregivers. Will you provide direct financial support or tax credits, and how much?
So
They're going to need it.
yes, if I was given the opportunity, it was up to me. Yes, I would definitely give it to them. Of course, when it comes to the House and the Senate, I'm just one voice.
Yeah, you are.
So, in my state, my party does not have the majority, and haven't in over 20, almost 30 years. But we are two seats short of the supermajority, or breaking the supermajority. And they believe that out of the 3, 2 will come from the county that I live in. We're also trying to beat the supermajority in the Senate. And with the fact that Missouri, and we just beat a record, the first time in over 100 years, of how many people turned out for filing day, and that we had 97, 98%, 96, 97% of someone who's a Democrat running in almost every county. We were 6 counties short. So it's the biggest record for filing day and for Missouri history when it comes to filing. So
let me ask you this. Has your state expanded Medicaid? Do you know?
If they have, I would say that they could do a whole lot better. My state is very conservative when it comes to different programs. And
is there a large amount of the state that uses Medicaid?
There is a decent portion, yes.
Yeah. I'm going to Google that. Hold on. Medicaid expansion, Missouri. Because that seems to be something that, yeah, Missouri Medicaid expansion. Absolutely. That's fantastic. That's another thing that some states have not done, is expand Medicaid, because they don't want to pay for healthcare for poor people. But if you're like you are in a rural county with a lot of an aging population, it becomes more important than ever that more people are provided with at least basic healthcare coverage, right?
Yes.
You can get your maintenance medications.
And in my community, there are a lot of aging people in our population. We have colonies, or like the towers for senior living. So it is an area with a huge population with the elderly.
So what's going on as far as the hospital situation is concerned? Because we see, that was one of the stories after the big beautiful bill was passed, that hospital closures would be imminent, and we've seen it in some states, but we heard that rural areas would be targeted the worst. Is that the case in your district?
It is. Well, in my district, I'm fortunate enough to where we have a hospital where over the years, I would say 10 plus years ago, did not have the best reputation. People would call it a place to go to. It was like a Band-Aid cover-up. And so I've been very involved with, we have a leadership academy. And so I got involved with it. It's an 8-week plus course to kind of learn how the city runs and how it all works together. And I was just at the hospital. And so our hospital has received some grants and funding and things. And so it's a lot more fortunate. But there are other hospitals, like there's one that's in Marshall, Missouri that I found out today or last night that was actually, it's going to be closing, which someone who told me, who works at my Excelsior Springs Hospital, told me that's the hospital that we all wish and hope that we were. And they're closing. And it's one of the only ones in the area that people know and go to. Mine, I'm lucky enough where it does have some funding, but they have gotten more involved in the community. And I gave them a shout out last night because I got emotional. And I'll try not to do it right now, because as a man and as a veteran, we're told not to show our emotions, but
no, go ahead.
When you get the news that
you're human.
You're human. So a little over a week ago, not this last Sunday, but the one before, my mom, who's here now, called me, and the man that I'm about to reference is not biologically my brother, but he's one of the closest things outside of my brothers in arms, is the closest thing I have to a brother. And so he suffered from a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm fortunate enough that his girlfriend, who lives 2 hours away, was there with him that weekend, because the doctors at my hospital said that if she was not there, that he would not be here.
Yeah.
And so, of course, my hospital doesn't have like a huge cardiovascular department. They're not equipped to handle that kind of situation, but she was able to get there in time, hooked him up to an EKG. They realized the rhythm that he was in, that he was obviously having a heart attack. They have very good partnerships in the Northland in Missouri with other huge hospitals. And they were able to call the next biggest hospital, which luckily I'm still fortunate that 20 minutes away or so, we have a relatively very big hospital that has a great birthing center, cardiovascular, things like that. They called Liberty Hospital. There was an ambulance from Liberty at Excelsior Springs Hospital in less than 5 minutes. And they were able to get the man who I consider a brother from the town that I live in to the next town over in the hospital, admitted and prepped for surgery within 30 minutes.
Wow.
I know for a fact, because I also have other friends who are candidates running in my area, either for state or Congress. My friend Josh Smead's running for a congressional seat for District 6, trying to replace Sam Graves. He's been going all across rural Missouri. And I also took EMT in high school, which is the same year that I lost my father to a heart attack. The day before my 18th birthday, and I was on a clinical with EMT because I went to school at Excelsior, but they have a vocational school, so I took EMT and was on a call where an older gentleman was coding from a heart attack, so it hit really close to home. But I know how important it is to receive medical attention as quickly as possible
In a timely manner. Yeah.
and you hear. And for anyone on here, in the medical field, you hear the golden hour, which is
Right.
that hour from when something happens to get treatment in a hospital for it to be taken care of. I'm fortunate enough where I have a hospital in my area, and I have one close to me. I have a lot of hospitals because I'm outside of Kansas City. So we have St. Luke's, we have great children's hospital, Liberty, Excelsior. So I'm fortunate enough to have a few different options. But for other rural areas in Missouri, they do not have that option. And there are hospitals that have closed due to funding. And I can't imagine where if I lived somewhere else or in a more rural area where we didn't have that hospital, what that family member would be going through if that was their brother.
Your health shouldn't depend on luck. It shouldn't depend on, I'm lucky that I live in this area with a hospital. It's really, that's, for lack of a better word, that's messed up.
Yeah.
That's really messed up. But hospitals are not self-sustaining, right? They need funding from the government. They need private donors. They need doctors. They need nurses, but
Absolutely.
They also need people with health insurance. If the people with the health insurance aren't in the area, they're going to leave, right? So Medicaid cuts, Medicare cuts, big insurers are leaving the area. That's happening too. A lot of factors are going into it, but it does start at the top. Like the federal government sets the tone and how much money they receive from the Fed. And if it's not trickling down, they depend on private donors. And who can afford that now? People have millions of dollars sitting around to give to a hospital. I don't.
I wish I did.
I wish I did.
I would love
Right.
to be able to be that charitable.
Yeah,
And
you could buy Spirit Airlines. You could buy the hospital. You could, yeah.
Absolutely.
We have a question from the audience. Or we have a audience member on the panel, rather. Buttermel.
Yes, hello. You also need
Hello.
people like me, medical
Yes.
billers.
Yes.
That's how you get the services to the insurance companies.
Correct.
But I often ask candidates, Mr. Dustin, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I often ask candidates who are running for a state seat why they chose state as opposed to congressional or even just doing something very local. What impact do you think, or do you feel like that's where you can make the biggest impact for your community, the people that you love, at the state level as opposed to a congressional level, even a very local level?
So for me, originally I wasn't going to do state. I thought I had imposter syndrome, I think is what they call it. I thought it was too much too quickly. People would think that I'm crazy. Then I started talking to like the vice chair of my party and different people who are already in politics in my county. I was going to do city council. I tried to get a hold of the mayor because I wanted to kind of get a feel for it, ask how it would be like to being on the council. I never heard anything back. And then more things were happening with the administration. And kind of like I was saying earlier, since I've gotten out of the service, I felt like how I could give back in a bigger way and make the most impact. Congressional, of course, but it's really hard going from a nobody to congressional. Grassroots, let alone, but I felt like you kind of had to have a little skin in the game. Also from other political people that I was talking to, which is how I felt about state. But then things were happening, and I felt like not only could, from a state level, I could help the people in my district, which is what I would do in the city council, but I could also be a voice and a vote for things that also would affect my entire state. So not only would I help my district, but I would help 39,000 versus 6 to 7 million. So I felt like I could make more of a difference that way.
Absolutely. It just went out my head. This is what happens when you get old. Don't get old, Dustin, okay? Because then you forget had it in your head and then it's gone out.
I mean, you can't see it. I'm 33, but I already have some grace. So, but I'm going into politics, so I better get used to it.
Now you said that. Okay, the local level. I'm trying to bring it back to my memories. You know what? If it comes back, I'll come back up. But just really good luck. I 100% agree that we often miss the local level. Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. What makes you think that you can do this job? And people like, oh, most people's idea of Congress, first of all, like I said, they don't even think about that there is a Congress for their state, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then it's just a face.
Mm-hmm.
And feel like a lot of people out there is just like, oh, well, I'm just going to be a person that goes in and says, hey, fix the roads for my people, right? Mm-hmm. But it's a little bit more than that. You have to come in there willing to compromise with people, make decisions for a lot of people, come up with solutions. Are you ready for that? And what makes you think that you'll be successful at that?
So I have worked in management most of my career. I'm also a veteran. I've dealt a lot when it comes to conflict, negotiations, diffusing situations. So I think with a combination of my history when it comes to my military service or being in management, it's what I've done most of my life. I'm an empath, I think, at heart. So deep down, if you talk to anyone who knows me, they could really tell you that I care deeply about a lot of things, especially people. And so my mom raised me best. And it's not necessarily, treat others like you want to be treated. It's not always necessarily from a Southern heart. Yes, sir, or yes, ma'am, but you respect your elders and you treat people like you want to be treated. So at the end of the day, that's what I come back to. I felt that for someone who is genuinely an empath or cares about people, I feel like it's a great spot to make a difference. And I felt like that was my calling from a very young age, is to, no matter what I do, and then I'm not doing it to become famous or necessarily a career-long politician. I do believe in term limits, and if I do end up staying in it and the people want me to stay in it, there's other roles and ways to do that. But I felt like it was my calling, just because I care about people. I want what's best for them, and to try to make sure that I leave this world better than when I came into it. And I also have a 10-year-old daughter, where I want to show her that anything is possible and dreams do come true and kindness matters. And right now we're in a very delicate space and time where, like, I was in the service, and I never thought that the military I served in would be turned on its own people. Rights being taken away when people have fought decades for them. And over my unlifed body, will I allow things to be worse and harder for my daughter than they used to be, when we're supposed to be working towards a better future, not repeating the past?
Absolutely. Great answer. Great answer. Again, I wish you luck. The people of Missouri need good, empathetic people in that state house, making sure that their needs are met. So good luck with that. Thank you, Miss Ayana.
You're welcome. Thank you, Buttermel. Those were great questions. I really, politics is crazy. Politics and legislating and getting involved in government. I work for the federal government. It's stressful. So anybody who wants to do this, God bless you. God bless you. Because my goodness, it is a time. But you mentioned you're a veteran and you served in the U.S. Army, correct?
Correct.
For how many years were you in the Army?
So it was a little shy than 2 years. So when I do talk to people, I always put it out there, and I've never lied about my service. Is I've gotten some negative feedback in regards to, you call yourself a veteran, but you're not a veteran.
Please. People are so, give me a break.
So I will say up front, I am not a combat vet. I was never deployed. My unit was deployed, but I was not deployed. So I'm not a combat vet, but I am a vet. And I'll tell anyone who's on here who listens that no matter if you're a combat vet or not,
you're a veteran.
You rose your hand.
Yes.
You're less than that 1% to 2% who said, that oath. I will never discredit another veteran's service because they did not deploy. There are a lot of veterans who remain on rear detachment who are very beneficial and crucial to the mission. But I was stationed with the 173rd in Italy, in Vicenza. It's an airborne unit. They are called a QRF, for what it stands for, a quick reaction force. So if something is to happen downrange in Europe, Afghanistan, anything like that, the unit is one of the first ones to go.
See, I work with veterans, and I ask them all the time about, their time in service. Some were combat, some were not, but I would never call any of them not veterans. Like, one didn't make it out of basic training because something happened in basic training, and now he's a disabled veteran. I'm not going to say, oh, you're not a veteran. Anybody who signs that paper and takes that oath, honey, you're a veteran once you get out of the armed services, period. You did. I mean, we have an all volunteer armed services.
Yes.
There are a lot of people who wouldn't dare. I'm one of those people. I wouldn't dare. I can't swim and my hands are small. I don't know. But one of the focuses of your platform are veterans. And you mentioned mental health as one of the focuses of one of the areas you want to work on is mental health for veterans. What is your specific target to reduce veteran self self-deletion, we'll call it, in Missouri? And what programs will you fund to reach that goal?
So veterans are...
Ah! Who's calling? Who's
There we are.
calling?
My phone was yelling at me. So veterans are near and dear to my heart. In Kansas City, we're fortunate enough where we have a few different organizations. One of the ones that in downtown Kansas City is called the Veteran Community Project. They have a tiny homes village where they help veterans, homeless veterans, get on their feet, into housing, help them get a job. One of the things that I was wanting to do when I was a realtor that I never got a chance to do was go down to the Veteran Community Project, educate those veterans on their VA home loan that they're entitled to because they served their country.
Right.
And make sure that I could not only help with the VCP to get them out of poverty into housing, but to help them, go to get into their first home. So I definitely want to get with legislation that makes it easier for veterans to get access to that care. One of the things that I hope to still accomplish one day is I have lost brothers down range in war, and also for other reasons, on living. And
if it's too hard to talk about, you don't have to talk about it. I mean, honestly, that was because it's part of your platform. I was asking just for that reason. But if it's too difficult to talk about, we can skip it.
So one of the things I was hoping to do, we have like Army parents. And so my friend who's no longer here, he was deployed. He came home with the 173rd. We call it PCSing, but he got moved to another duty station with 82nd. And then when he got to 82nd, he did a back-to-back deployment and went back to Afghanistan.
Oh, wow.
And he came home and got married. And unfortunately, there were some things that had happened, and he's not here anymore. And so there was a foundation that I wanted to do, and was going to call it the Jordan Marshall Foundation. And it was going to be a nonprofit. There are a lot of organizations and places out there that help veterans, but sometimes it's hard for veterans to navigate them, and they don't always all work together, and they all do different things. And so I wanted to be kind of essentially a hub of the crisis hotline, but like a local landline version of it, but also be that hub for all the different organizations and VSOs like the American Legion, AMVETS, DAV, VFW, and connect them with the services that they need. Again, kind of being that one-stop shop to make it easier for veterans to access the care, one, that they need, and two, that they deserve.
That's the thing. They deserve it. They deserve it. And it seems like they are not receiving the care and concern that they deserve. People often think, oh, well, we're giving billions and trillions of dollars to the Department of WAR. The veterans should be getting some of that, right? Are they? The way you have your neck.
So I come on these a lot with you as a listener, right? And I listen to all these candidates who come on here, and I listen to what they have to say. And I've said it in other lives and people I've talked to, because we're going to come to it, I'm sure, at some point when it comes to where the money comes from and why we're the wealthiest country on earth and why we don't have some of the things that the other countries have. But how much money we can spend in an unconstitutional war, or the amount of money that the Department of WAR spent recently in 1 month. I don't want to hear that we don't have the money. I don't want to hear it.
Exactly.
I don't. Because if the Department of WAR can spend hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars on lobsters, or they can buy furniture for certain individuals or donuts, but we can't feed our children in school, or we don't have universal health care, it angers me because there are so many people in this country who are not here anymore because they didn't get the care that they needed, that they should have been able to get. It should have been preventative. I have family who suffer because they can't afford the medications or weren't diagnosed or diagnosed correctly. It angers me. And
It should
our
anger a lot
country
more
needs
people.
to focus more on those things like healthcare than what they were spending it on. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, well, let's do some rapid fire here.
All right.
Let's see if we can get some. What is the single biggest problem in District 39 that keeps you up at night?
Keeps me up. I mean, for me, affordability or cost of living, I think, is the biggest thing for me.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be for a lot of districts and places across the country. Is just the prices of things. That's the one thing I hear about in my district, in my community, is how things are so expensive.
Do people ever ask you do you explain to them as a state rep how you can make things more affordable for them? Are you able to articulate that? Some people running for office have no idea what their job, how their job can help make things more affordable. No lie, I'm not
And
kidding.
a lot of the things do start, when it comes down to a lot of things that are local, it starts with your local, like, city council. And a lot of things will escalate from there. They grow, but a lot of things close to home should start and do start there. So for me, like with utilities, depending on where you live, there's a monopolies. You don't have a choice. If you don't have a choice, I want to be able to work with other legislators to figure out if there can be some type of cap or what we can do so it doesn't get to a certain point, or if wages aren't being increased, but the cost of living keeps going up or utilities keep going up, there has to be some way where we can level it out or make it more fair. But the fact that we can get ripped off by certain companies, where companies are making crazy amounts of profit, but the people who are suffering the most are the lower and middle class who pay more when it comes to consumptions and different things. So I want to work with legislators to figure out a way to be able to do that, where we cannot be price gouged when it comes to utilities. Or some places will try to implement like a grocery sales tax, something that would help the lower and middle class, where we spend most of our money at the grocery store or on services. Where in my case, in Missouri, it passed the House and the Senate where they're going to eliminate the income tax. Well, in general, eliminating an income tax sounds amazing. Who loves taxes? Nobody.
Not me.
But if you eliminate the income tax, you have to shift it to somewhere else.
Yep.
Which is going to be the state sales tax, which right now it's going to affect the lower and middle class more. When you look at places like the Missouri budget project, it's going to cost Missourians, four out of 5 Missourians, more money than if they would have just left it alone. So you have this ballot candy where it confuses people and it makes it sound fantastic. But if you look at everything below and you look at the actual wording, they're going to be able to increase taxes on services, which means gas, maintenance on your vehicles, anything and everything where you get a service, they're going to have a service tax. So our sales tax that's 8 point something is going to go to like 15 to 20 something. So it's going to hurt people, and trying to educate my future constituents and people in the community to vote no in November because it's passed the House and the Senate, but now it's going to go to the ballot in November because it's a shift in taxes, that they have to get our approval. And it's just legislating and going out and educating people to hopefully please vote no, because Kansas did something similar under Brownback, where they eliminated the taxes, and it took all of maybe like a few months or so before they realized, whoa, this is not good, and turned it around. So my state, when it comes to like income tax, education and schooling and funding is based on the income tax. Well, if you eliminate the income tax and you move it to a sales tax, which is based on consumption, it's going to be irregular. No district is going to know how much funding they're getting because it fluctuates. But my district is stand to lose $4.3 million in funding, and the district next to me is going to be $6 billion. And there's a little school district that's going to be $600,000. It's not good.
I have to apologize. I called this rapid fire, but that was not a rapid fire response there, Dustin. I appreciate it. It's comprehensive.
Yes.
It's passionate, but that was not rapid fire. But it's fine. None of the candidates we have follow the rules. You all can't follow rules. It's impossible. But yes or no, should the state invest more in apprenticeship programs?
Yes.
One word. What's holding back small businesses in your district?
Funding.
Well, yeah, that would do it. What's one regulation you changed to help working families immediately?
This one, regulation?
Yeah, one regulation. I guess the utilities.
Yes.
That
I would
counts.
say regulation on utilities. Yeah. I would say utilities.
That counts. Yeah, you get a pass on that one. Broadband or roads? Which rather gets your first dollar?
Broadband or roads? Oh, that's hard because both
is it. Can they split the dollar?
Right, roads to get somewhere, but I don't know, because broadband, I feel like in the case of an emergency and you have access to broadband or some type of communication, I feel like that's very important.
It is
in a rural area. So I would say life or death. At least I would say broadband, yeah, because someone else can come to you, hopefully, but at least you can let them know something's happening.
You know, that's weird that we have this broadband issue in many states. Like there are a lot of states where places still have no or poor internet access.
Yes.
That was supposed to change or something under one of them presidents, and we're still dealing with that. That's bizarre.
I think things were in a previous administration. Things were planning to get better. They were getting better, and then things got revoked, and things that were voted on and approved when it comes to infrastructure have been changed. And
yeah, imagine that.
Yeah.
One word, the most dangerous infrastructure gap in your district. Well, I guess that would be broadband, wouldn't it? Or roads.
In my districts, yeah. I mean, I would say in my district, I'm lucky enough, like we have service in most places. So I would say roads in my area.
Are there roads that have big crater potholes, or what's going on with them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You could go swimming in them?
Yes. Kansas City, in some places, and my town is good, but Kansas City has this thing where they start on one project and then they start a lot more without finishing the other project.
Ah.
Yes.
See how much they can get done before it snows or floods or whatever. What's your leadership style in one word?
Visionary.
Visionary. Okay. Yes or no, transparency laws in Missouri are strong enough?
No.
No. Okay. What's one thing you'll never compromise on?
Morals, values, integrity.
That's 3 things, but okay.
That was the first one. They're all similar.
Finish the sentence. A representative's job is to.
Can I do one word? Or is it
Do
more?
5. It says finish the sentence. However long your sentences are, sir.
My job is to be the voice of the people in my district.
Okay, there you go. What's one Missouri policy you would scrap if you had the chance?
In my state, it was Amendment 3 in regards to. I remember from previous sessions what words we can and cannot say. Starts with an A.
Starts with an A.
That they're trying to ban.
Oh,
Yes.
AB. Yes.
Yeah, AB.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
What's one thing voters misunderstand about state government?
At least when it comes to their specific representative, that we're just one person and that we can't make the decision, no matter how much we want to.
Yeah.
It can't be just on us. We feel it as a representative or a potential representative. It's a lot of weight on our shoulders. But yeah, I would say that one is, we're just one person.
And you want to go into a lawmaking role. You want to make laws for people.
Yes.
You want to say how much money gets to go to a certain project, what gets to go to a certain project. Is there a reason why you chose lawmaking over, say, I don't know, running for governor or running for school board?
School board would be a big one, but I felt like, again, state would have a bigger impact, and I could help in that subject, but also in other things.
Yeah.
I feel, if you ask my mom over here, my mom always she regrets not going to college and getting her law degree. So I think I'm kind of that second chance.
Tell her it's never too late to become a lawyer. I've been a lawyer for 22 years, 23 years, something like that. It's never too late.
When I was in college, I had someone who was in my class. She was probably, I've seen people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s going back to school and getting their degrees.
I went to law school with people I was 23 and there were people in their 50s and 60s. And I'm like, what are you all doing? Like, we've always wanted to go to law school. I'm like, okay.
But in this case, with my mom, who's on a limited income and on disability, school is expensive.
Yes.
And finding a way to make it easier on students, parents, anyone in general who wants to continue their education or go back to school where they could afford it.
That would be nice. What are your ideas for that? Going into state government, do you think there should be more grant programs, loan forgiveness? You know, one of the things that blocked President Biden's loan forgiveness program is the states wanted their money.
Mm-hmm.
So they were the ones who were suing to have these forgiveness programs stopped. They're like, hey, if you forgive them, we don't get our money back. Mm-hmm. And it was the red states. What do you think? Do you think that that's something, when you get into office, do you think that's something you will have the time to address, or something that you should address, or how do you think you would approach that?
It's something that I would like to be included on. I am, of course, no expert. I at one point was a student. There were student loans. I feel like if there's some type of program or forgiveness where if someone's trying, or if there's a means where we can physically see that they can't pay it back, I don't want to put necessarily the burden on someone else to pay. I want to find some type of solution or a way that we could solve it, eliminate it, forgive it, whatever the case may be, but in a way where it's not going to impact other programs or people unjustly. If it was something that was decided upon where it would impact people, I think it would need to be something that has a majority or checking in with, as a rep, their constituents. That's one of the things I want to do if elected, when, positive affirmation, is to have regular town halls, either virtually or in person, or doing surveys and different things, and talking to my community about what they want or what they need, and getting input versus just doing it without their consideration or what's best for them.
Okay, let's talk about the justice system. Let's see here. Missouri law states that there's no presumption for either parent in custody decisions, yet outcomes can still vary widely case to case. You say fair and transparent. So what specific reform will standardize custody decisions statewide, and how will you measure fairness?
So this one hits close to home. With being transparent, I've gone through the family court system when it comes to having custody with my daughter. I'm in a state where, and I think it was this way over the years, and probably in many states and places around the country where court systems, I want to say favor moms, but a mom, carries a child, and moms definitely have certain rights. But I want it to be where it's more fair when it comes to fathers' rights too. There's this astigmatism and stereotype where all dads are bad, or most dads are bad, or they're worthless, and different things that I've heard and seen. And I wanted to make it to where not necessarily dads get that stereotype like they used to. Make it easier for dads, because there are good dads out there who work very hard to provide and take care of their children. And I want to advocate on their behalf and making sure that it's fair for them, where I feel, at least as myself, spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars trying to advocate for my kid, but having that astigmatism that the other parent should have said custody. And I had to fight for it. And I felt like it's biased in some ways, where dads can do less wrong, and the consequences be more. So I've want to work with lawyers and advocates and organizations to come out with a way for it to be more fair for fathers too.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that. Are judges in the state of Missouri, are they elected or appointed? I think they're elected. Okay. And some states that are Commonwealth, they're appointed, like Pennsylvania, they're appointed. So, do you think mandating mediation or counseling in those situations would be good, or the appointment of a guardian ad litem? Do you think that would be a good solution in trying to bring fairness to a situation?
So just like it is with left or right or blue or red, there are good guardian ad litems, and there are bad. I've had the case where I've had both. If there's in Missouri, if there's neglect or abuse involved or suspected, there's usually a guardian ad litem appointed. If they are doing what they are supposed to do, and not being unbiased and looking into both sides and doing what's in the best interest of the child, then I could understand it. Mediation, and I can see it as yes. I don't like it necessarily to be mandated. I think it depends on the situation. In some places, I can definitely see where mediation would help. In my case, or in the past of what I've gone through, I don't think there's any amount of mediation that is going to change my mind. What has happened has, and accusations and things that people can't just take back. So
right.
I think if you can try mediation, it's good, but I also think there's a point to where it's too far gone. And at that point, it's up to the judge or the court's decision of what they deem is best for the child.
Okay, let's talk a little bit, blah, 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 about farming. Data from the American Farmland Trust shows that the U.S. is losing over 2,000 acres of farmland per day to development. With Clay County expanding, how many acres of farmland will you work to protect locally? Or do you even think it's worth it? Should we just be like, you know what? Bye-bye, farms.
So I think older family farms, I think farms are very important, especially in rural America. A lot of our food comes from those. So I want to try to find policies where it protects, especially bigger farms, ones that do mass production are well known in the state. I definitely want to help family local farms and bigger farms, especially when it comes to our food. In my area, I know with us, we have a shortage of housing. And so I know that we need more homes, whether it be, housing for, what's the word I'm looking from? We have housing vouchers. We don't necessarily use the word Section 8 anymore, but they still use it within the field. But we need more housing for low income, but we just need housing in general. So using certain land for development, I'm fine with if it's fair and reasonable, but I also want to make sure that farmers have the respect and everything they deserve and that they're protected by their laws and that their land is safe. I don't ever love the idea of what's the word I'm looking, eminent domain, and just like taking people's properties or anything like that. I would love to figure out another situation before that is absolutely necessary. But if that were the case, making sure that it was fair for the other party. I don't want to take someone's farm that's been in their family for 5, 6, 7 generations.
So we're hearing a lot from farmers, at least on social media and through the news, that they're suffering because of the fuel prices. Diesel is forcing some to make some drastic decisions, and the tariffs had already forced them into making other decisions. They're losing customers, they're losing product. What can you as a state representative do when you get elected? What can you do to bring relief, immediate relief to farmers? Is there something you can do?
I want to say that there is something that I can do. There's nothing more that I wanted to do to be able to help them. I know situations that farmers are in currently with tariffs or the fact of what's happening with the WAR and hitting one of the world's largest fertilizer areas, which is going to make the cost go up, which we may not see right away. But when come fall, the price of meat and things from farms is, I think, going to be astronomical, more than it already is, because they rely on those fertilizers for the crops in their farms. I've not necessarily in my district per se have I seen a lot of farms suffering, but I've been hearing it all over the news where farms have had to close or farmers are no longer here because of the detriment it put on them or their families. And they felt like there may have been no other solution. And I never want people to get to that area because, one, again, I strongly advocate for mental health and what a farmer must be feeling in that moment when they're losing everything or it's getting too expensive and they have that burden. I want to do everything I can. Again, I don't know as a first-time candidate exactly what I would do, but I would.
Do you think that the state should bail out farmers? The federal government isn't doing it. Do you think the state should step in and bail out farmers?
If they could find a way where it doesn't put us more in a deficit or makes it worse later on, I would like to figure out a way to do it. But again, and things like this, when it comes to former bailouts and different bailouts that we've had in the past, we would have never needed the bailout if we would have made better and smarter decisions.
Right. Well, I mean, obviously, but that hindsight being 2020, it's like we're at the point of no return now. Somebody's got to do something.
Because we have to do something. We can't lose all of our farmers, and we need to be helping our farmers before we're helping other countries with their products.
Yeah, I agree. So you say there's a housing shortage, right?
Yes.
What do you think is the best way to solve that legislatively?
I mean, legislative, we need to find a way. I don't know, because we have mortgage and insurance, all these different things. Again, finding a way where
Yeah.
there's type of monopolies or any certain companies that are gouging us, caps, different things to try to find a way where we can get more houses for less. I don't know if it's bulk or whatever the case may be. Finding good, reasonable people who are qualified and insured.
Or those tiny homes. I mean, tiny homes are a good idea.
I want to
Maybe.
find something that we can. It doesn't. When we build these homes that are more affordable, where middle class people such as myself can live, they don't have to be fancy homes. We don't need all these homes with granite countertops and the bells and whistles. But when it comes back to after these meetings I've had with like the housing authority in my town and the shortage that they have, is just finding more homes, more renters or places, I guess landlords that have homes, and opening up to the housing program. But if we could at least build them, get a good quality, finding bids and not just picking our best friend for the bid, but getting bids from multiple people and giving options.
Yeah.
Getting these homes built that are safe enough for people to live in, but without all the bells and whistles, I think would be a start. But that's the hardest thing for me, and that's one of the things I've been trying to talk to people in the Senate and the House, getting, I guess, my feet wet. Is going in. That's one of my biggest concerns is homelessness and how I can fix that. And it's not as big in my area. There are people without homes in my area, and it's everywhere. But my area, I'm fortunate enough, it's not as bad as some places. But I wanted to get to a time and a place where there doesn't have to be anyone out on the streets or on the roads unhomed, and try to find and pass legislation that gets people off the streets, rehabilitate, housing, jobs, whatever the case may be, so that way they can get a second chance.
Okay. Let's get to, we have 8 minutes left. Let's get to our closing questions. If elected, when elected, never mind, when elected, what's the first major issue you would want to tackle as a Missouri State House of representative? And how would your leadership style ensure voices of everyday residents guide your decisions?
Well, anything I want to do, I want to look at solving problems now, but also looking toward the future, being ethical in the same way. Can you repeat that last part for me?
How would your leadership style ensure voices of everyday residents guide your decisions as a representative in your district? How are you going to remain grounded in your grassroots?
Well, being consistently available to my constituents, out and about talking to them. I don't want to be that politician who never talks to their constituents or never holds a town hall or never answers the phone when their constituent calls them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to be that person who brings transparency back to the office, bring trust. And by doing that is being available to the people, and getting out with the people. And everything that I've done in management, I never thought myself to be better or more important than my employees. Anything that they've done, I've been more than willing to get down and do with them and get my hands dirty. So by being involved in the community, helping sponsor a highway cleanup like I did and picked up 10 bags of trash off the side of the road, did another community project picking up things downtown, getting involved with the city leadership and going to meetings across the city, going to the fire department, the water department, all these things to see how it's ran and how I can educate people. I think the biggest thing of me being grounded is being consistently around the people that I serve and listening to them and showing up for them. I think that's how it's going to keep me grounded.
Okay. Looking ahead, 5 to 10 years. Dang. How long do you want to be in office?
As long as the people want me in the office.
Okay. Someone wants to know What can you do to protect water treatment facilities in your district? Is there an issue with water treatment facilities? Are you guys running dirty water through the people's faucets?
So we have an aquifer where we get our water from. So hopefully for right now, that's an unlimited supply. And when I went to the water department that I went to, we hold 5 million gallons of water, enough for multiple days if something were to happen that the city would have water. And then once they process and transfer, the rest of it goes back into the Missouri River. So as far as I know, we don't have huge water problems in my area. We also are known for our mineral water. Excelsior is known for the largest mineral water barn in the world.
Well, this was about the water treatment facilities, not the water itself. Are the treatment facilities in disrepair? Are they crumbling?
There's parts of it that are outdated and some of it that's updated. I definitely think that all plants and different things in the community could be improved. I don't necessarily think that it's falling apart, but it could definitely be improved.
Okay. All right. So what's your long-term vision for your district, and how do you hope residents will look back on your service and say their lives and communities were improved because you represented them?
Well, my long-term goal is, one, listening to them to see what affects a majority of the people in my district, and trying to pass legislation on what affects them and what's going to help them in the long run. I think by listening to my constituents and at least trying to pass, if not passing, the legislation, that they would know that I showed up, I listened, I cared, I did the job that I was elected to do, which you don't see necessarily in our government these days. So just being
true.
And honest and listening. And if I can't do something, I will say it. And I want to promise everyone sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns, but
I want all of that, please.
I will never say I will promise to do something, but I will work my hardest to get that goal or mission accomplished.
I'm in Ohio. We don't have sunshine or rainbows.
I just seen the double rainbow the other day.
Aw, lucky. Okay. Well, Mr. Lloyd, please let the people know where they can find you online and how they can support your campaign. It's very important. Your grassroots.
Yes.
You need the money.
So my website is dustinlloydformissouri.com. You can find me on pretty much every major. I cannot talk tonight.
It's okay. It's late.
Social media platform: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Substack, all of those.
Oh, wow. Are you on Threads too?
Yes, I do have Threads. I don't think I have X on my.
No, nobody has X.
Yeah. So
nobody has that.
But pretty much all the other ones, you can find me on all those. Most of them are Lloyd for Mo. So typically, if you type in Dustin Lloyd, Missouri, it will pull them all up.
And people can donate to your campaign through Act Blue or?
Yes. So Act Blue, which you can get through my website, it'll have a link to donate. And for me, the biggest thing is yes, I am grassroots. But like I said, I'm a guy, but I'm also a vet, and I'm not the type of person who usually likes to ask for help or money. And I know not everyone can afford to donate with money, but even if it's $5, $10, whatever you can do. But for me, also, my biggest thing is being a realtor in most industries I worked in is word of mouth. And so just spreading it, social media, telling people if you know people who live in the area or may know someone, word of mouth. But
give him your money. You can't ask. I'll ask for you. Give Dustin Lloyd all of your money, all of it. Just take your wallet, turn it over, dump it out, and all the money that falls out, you donate that to him. You give it to him.
But if people are around, and even if you're not, there's different ways like phone banking, door knocking.
Or that, yeah.
But then not everyone is able to door knock, or not everyone wants to. But there are multiple ways you can contribute to a campaign without money.
I guess.
Every campaign disclosure needs money. But my goal and my promise is to not be fully funded by any huge PACs. I don't want huge PAC money. And even if, most of my, I think, campaign funds will come from grassroots. I know I do have 2 endorsements. I do have endorsements from Run for Something and
Yes, you
Vote Vets,
do.
with multiple endorsements filed. I'm just waiting to hear back. But those are the 2 I have been officially endorsed by. And I'm working on with unions, teachers, organizations, because those are the backbone of my campaign, is teachers and seniors and veterans. And so that's the biggest thing. So grassroots, there might be some committees and different things out there, but I'm not going to accept money for organizations that I don't support, or that are against my beliefs and my values.
Okay, I get that. All money, as we say in my community, ain't good money.
Correct.
So, well, thank you, Dustin, for being here with us tonight. I appreciate you sharing your platform and your vision for the future. We will be back here again. We will be back here. What day is it? I don't even know. Today's the 5th. Tomorrow is the 6th of May, 2026. We will be back here with Jess Murphy, who is running for the U.S. Congressional District 2, number 2 out of New York, at 7 o'clock. So tomorrow we have a U.S. House candidate. Tonight we had 2 Missouri District state candidates. Do you know Dale Canoyer? Canoyer?
What district do they say they were in?
65.
Kind of sounds familiar, but I don't personally know them.
Okay. That's who was on before you. He's running for District 65. So, yeah, today we had state candidates. Tomorrow we will have a U.S. Congressional District candidate. We do all the local, the state, the federal. We do all the offices. So tomorrow we will be featuring a candidate from New York, Jess Murphy, at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight we featured Mr. Dustin Lloyd of Missouri, District 39. He is running for state representative from District 39. Any parting words for the people, Dustin?
We live in a democracy as long as we use our voices and our votes. So if there's something that you believe in and something that you fight for, your voice is important and your vote counts.
There you go. I don't even need to say our closing. That was perfect. Thank you so much for that, Dustin. I appreciate that. You guys, tonight, Ohio and Indiana had their primaries. I don't have any results yet because I haven't had the time to look them up. I hope that whoever we featured on our show fared well. If you didn't, there's always next season. Politics is a circle. It literally is a circle. Everything comes back around. If you want to be in this game, if you want to do this thing, you got to keep trying. You just got to keep trying. So, but good luck to you, Dustin. Again, your primary is in August. So you have a little ways to go. Get your face on some billboards and some of those little cards people get in the mail. Knock on some doors, knock a couple thousand. Yes. You can even buy a door knocker. You don't even have to use your own hands, right? You can just buy a sound machine because after about 100 doors, your hand will probably hurt. So
it'll be worth it.
It'll be worth it, right? It will be worth it. And tell your mom we said goodbye, Mom. Thank you for her commentary. Moms are always moms are the best.
He's my pride and joy, I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you.
I didn't pay her to say that.
It's okay. I know. I'm a mom. I would have done the same thing. It's okay.
Billy, I'm rent free. Oh, no.
Gotta love her.
I love it. At some point, this will be on YouTube. So tell your mom she's going to be a star in a couple days.
Yeah, get on camera. Come on, man. I've always
She's like, I want to say hi.
She's been trying so bad.
I've been
But-
trying so bad to be quiet. Oh, it's
It's
hard.
okay. It's over. It's over. You can shout all you want to in
Okay.
10,
Last
9, 8,
time.
7,
girl.
6.
You know, I think I've been to a Spanish restaurant for Cinco de Mayo because I wanted to celebrate the heritage.
I told her it wasn't Mardi Gras, but she really wanted to hand out the beads, and so she gave
I
it
brought
to
down a
our
whole
waiter.
gun bag full.
I mean, beads for Cinco de Mayo, yes, please. Beads for anything.
Come on, girlfriend.
Beads for any day of the week, please.
Yeah.
I'll have balloons and bubbles and beads any day of the week.
Moon out there so I could give him the special bead, but he never come back out there. But
They were busy.
We're gonna sign off. We thank you again, Lloyd. We Dustin. I'm so sorry.
It's fun. It was
Dustin,
in the
thank
service,
you.
so I went by Lloyd for a really long time. You know how long it took me when I got out of the service for someone to call me by my first name? I would just keep walking. They're like, Dustin. You were talking to me, sorry.
yeah, 'cause we know him as Bubba. Bubba.
Oh, is that so? Okay, Bubba.
That's Bubba.
Right. Okay, we're going to sign off. Thank you so much, OVC, to the audience. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your participation. We really appreciate it. We will see you back here tomorrow night at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everyone, take care. Bye-bye.
Love you, baby.